So many people have been asking us to cover the issue of Tanzania, the elections in Tanzania, and all of the developments there. And I thought, let me try to get somebody who's on the ground who can tell us what's happening on the ground. And I'm joined today by Brenda Rupia. And Brenda Rupia is a spokesperson for the Chadema party. And the Chadema party is the main opposition party in Tanzania. So I would like to welcome you, Brenda, for joining us and helping us to understand what's going on in Tanzania.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Greetings to all.
Right. So let's start by just getting clarity from you. What's actually going on now on the ground? Can you bring us all the continent, South Africa? Help us understand what's going on because we're not always aware of what's happening in places like Tanzania.
All right. What's going on in the ground as of today? There's the inauguration of the president happening today in Dodoma. It's a very unfair act from the government of Samia Suluhu Hassan. She clearly knows that she wasn't chosen by the people. They claim she has won by 98%, which is absolutely ridiculous given the fact that there were protests going on all over the country, not just Dar es Salaam, all over the country in regions such as Mbeya, Dodoma, and these are the big Mbeya, sorry, not Dodoma, Mbeya, Mwanza, Dar es Salaam, Kahama, Tunduma. Places like Geita have seen huge protests, and then today you have an inauguration declaring that Samia has won by 98% is really unfair to the people of Tanzania.
And is it true that no one is invited to this inauguration? It's being done in private?
Absolutely. All of this is being done by all government officials and the small parties that are CCM puppets, really, that have actually been invited. So nobody, unlike other previous ceremony of being sworn into, in this case, nobody is invited, and the country can't witness this. If you claim that you've won by 98%, it means like the country at large is happy about your winning. Why is this very different?
Yeah. So tell us, why are people protesting? Because you mentioned that there's a lot of protesting that has been happening in various parts of the country. We obviously haven't been able to see as much, but can you give us insight as to why this particular election is getting so much pushback from the public?
It's clear really that the people of Tanzania don't want CCM as the ruling party, and we don't want um, Samia Suluhu as our president. And or if you hear the chants, they keep saying hatumtaki Samia Suluhu, hatuitaki CCM. It means we don't want Samia Suluhu, we don't want CCM to rule us. Now, me as a person, I don't understand how you'd force to rule people that don't want to be ruled by you. First of all, the opposition party, such as Chadema, we had been barred from entering into these elections, into participating into these elections. By their first statement, they said that because we didn't sign the code of conduct, then we're not supposed to participate in these elections, and we abided by that, really. And it wasn't an issue to us because we also didn't want to validate everything that we didn't want to validate an unjust and unfair elections. It has been clear. Our chairman told them from the beginning that even if we do go into these elections without having electoral reforms, the same thing is going to happen as all the other years. As from 2019, we have seen a huge number, a huge amount of rigging, actually, and a lot of people started dying since 2019, 2020 in our general elections, and then 2024 in our local elections, and now again in 2025. Even though we haven't participated, we have still seen that they still rig elections, even though the main opposition party is not participating in the elections.
So you just mentioned your chairman, Tundulusu. Where is Mr. Tundulusu and where is John Heche right now? Are they, in the public, or what is their status?
Tundu, our chairman, Tundu Antipas Lisu, is still in jail ever since the 10th of April of 2025, when he was taken from Binga, and they gave him a treason case, something that is not true, something that is even unjust. It's unreasonable. You can't make a treason, you can't make treason by yourself. You know, he's facing treason by himself. How can you do that? He's not armed. He's the only mistake that he did. The only mistake was to really ask for electoral reforms ever since he was sworn in as president, as chairman of Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo, our party. That's the only mistake that he has done. And up until now, he's suffering behind bars up until today. And to be fair, Tundu Lissu is like, I don't care. I'm okay with this. Remember, this is a man who was shot 16 bullets in 2017. 16 bullets went through his body, and then he was taken to Kenya for operations, and then after that Belgium. It's by God's grace that we still have him with us today, and up until today he's fighting for the people. He's fighting for Tanzania. Now, as for John Heche, he was taken from the gate outside the court when he was going to attend Tundu Lissu's case 2 weeks ago. Up until now, he still remains in prison, rather jail in Dodoma. They haven't given him, they haven't taken him to court, which is still also against the law. You know, it seems like it's fine for them when they go against the constitution and they go against the law. It's very fine for them. But when it happens on either side, then the people of Tanzania will face wrath. And, you know, people right now are really not happy in whatever is going on in Tanzania. They're not happy about it at all.
From what you're describing, this doesn't sound like a free and fair electoral environment, but I want to get from you your reflections, having not been participating, banned from participating in this election. Do you think that this was a free and fair election? And if yes, why? And if no, why? Can you just share your thoughts with us?
This wasn't a free and fair election. First of all, Tanzania, not just Chadema. First, I would like to take you back in January 21, when we first when we first now got our new chairman and our new leadership. Chadema came up with the campaign of no reforms, no election. They traveled the whole country making this campaign known, educating the people as to why we want we shouldn't have elections if we are not to have reforms. We engaged with the government, and we told them we don't mind if the government can continue for 2 to 3 years. We don't mind about that. But until we have our reforms, then only should we go into elections. They turned a deaf eye, they turned deaf ears and blind eyes to our campaign. Now, this campaign later on became the campaign of the people, because it was no longer the campaign of Chadema. Once Chadema was barred from elections, we stood still, and then we continued following up on our chairman's case. So these protests that have been happening are really not Chadema's protests. These are the people's protests. The people of Tanzania are saying enough is enough. We cannot choose one person. We cannot choose one party. Don't spend taxpayers' money. Elect yourselves and let life go on, because you're spending our money. And Tanzania, and you claim we know Tanzania is not a rich country. Tanzania is a very poor country with very poor people, but you still want to spend taxpayers' money on these elections that are one-sided. We're not going to go and choose a one-sided election. These are not fair elections. So that's what the people are protesting about. Why are we choosing one person? Even the parties that have participated, these are CCM puppets. They are CCM owned parties, and Tanzania people is aware about all these parties, and that's why we're having all these protests, and people have seen that these elections are really unfair, and a lot of people have died. I must say, a lot of people have died, up to 1,000 plus people have died and many injured, especially in regions of Dar es Salaam, Mbeya, and Mwanza. A lot of people have died. And we
And
urge the international communities, the ones that can actually do something about it, to be able to step in and do something about it, not just give statements.
yeah, this issue that you've just touched on now is very worrying about the human rights abuses, and you've identified now a number of 1,000 deaths and more injuries that you say. Are you guys going to be lodging any complaints, maybe with the international bodies that look into these types of issues?
Absolutely, absolutely. We cannot continue seeing our brothers and sisters getting injured. Our brothers and sisters have died, and we cannot turn a deaf ear and blind eyes to that. It's despicable. Only for one person to be declared a president, that is not fair to the people of Tanzania at all. So we will be speaking out about it every day that we can, really.
And what's next for Chadema? What's next for Tanzania in this environment? Because it looks as if they're going ahead.
They have gone ahead. Up until now, they have sworn her in. And as for us, Chadema, we will have a meeting as soon as we can, because as of now, the communication has been is we cannot communicate efficiently. We all know that there has been an internet shutdown, and a lot of communication has been the communication has been tampered with, so we can't access each other. We can't even give proper data on how many people have been injured because of the miscommunication that's going on in Tanzania. But Chadema will stand strong, and we are for the people, and we do what the people want. And we said from the beginning that we are for the people, and we'll stand by what the people want. So if whatever the people want in Tanzania is what we will go with, I am sure, and we will continue with the ongoing case of our chairman and also our vice chairman. And after that, we will give our stand to the world, really.
Well, thank you so much, Brenda Rupia, for joining us and giving us insight on the conditions in Tanzania today. Thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you. Thank you.